I've done a really fantastic job of lying to myself, actually. I'm in my early 40s, still, just. Next birthday, in a few months' time, I'll be 44, which I think marks the entry into mid-40s. And there was somebody actually, I saw somebody's post on Twitter earlier on today, and she was relegating herself to the tomb, and she was saying, I'm 56, should I go and retire here or go and do such and such a thing there? And I think 56 could very well be just halfway through her life. It's incredible how we relegate ourselves and give up on ourselves to the extent that 56 is, as she described it, going into the winter of her life. And I felt compelled to comment and say, no. You need a mentality shift, not a physical one. And more so than ever, age really is a number. But this stage of my life is basically a perpetual spring clean, frankly. And as I've just been walking along this lovely path, I was just thinking about one of the things that it doesn't sound huge, it was a real issue when I was with my ex, that when he and I would meet in person, that he would always set the pace of how quickly or how slowly, painfully slowly, he would walk. And the thing is, it wasn't actually about the walking, it was about the principle that whenever he and I were together, it was always him that decided, set the terms of service of everything we did. And there was zero discussion. That's why I say I've done a really good job of lying to myself, because somehow by magic I always found a way of rationalizing it, or intellectualizing it away, that it wasn't that big a deal. And so, the thing is, I remember saying to my mum once, and I kind of feel a bit embarrassed to say this, but I said, the thing is, he's really busy at work and he's a little bit tired and he's always dealing with all of this stress, most of which he created himself, deliberately, that, when he meets up, he wants to walk really slowly with me. And honestly, I just think now, God, how subservient I was, especially in the light that whenever we were walking along and I walked ever so tinily quicker than his pace, that he would often say, you're walking too fast. I talked the other day actually about a phrase that he also used a lot. Oh, what's wrong with that? And I just think, just say, Martin, why aren't you doing things my way? And it's this constant sort of exercising of the demons and just clearing out all of this mental rot from my mind. That it's why I repeat the phrase, wherever you are, be there. It's to remind you that your needs and wants and desires and preferences are just as valid when you are with other people. And I'm not giving you instructions, I have to constantly remind myself that, as an absolutely gigantic, gargantuan people pleaser, that what I want matters. That's why I talk about trusting yourself more, because if you don't remind yourself, then believe me, you're going to be at the whims and mercy of other people, and your life will get smaller and smaller and smaller. It won't get bigger by pleasing more people. It won't get more free-flowing and joyful. It just won't, because you can't please all the people all the time. And we assume that when people are giving us what feel like these orders all the time, we assume that they've got their shit together, and they haven't. They really honestly have not got their shit together. They want to control other people because they need the strength in numbers to delude themselves, frankly, into the fact that what they're saying is right just because people agree. Fear dictates so much of our behavior. It's widespread, and you can see it. If I haven't got this political party to rely on, or I haven't got that messianic figure in politics to help me achieve what I want to achieve, you see it in people, and it just depends on the scale. But when it comes down to local, immediate relationships, you can see the desperation and the codependency that people imprison themselves under. You really can, and I can relate. I'm not judging people, because life can be very, very frightening, because the pace of modern life is so relentless that we feel like we need anchors, especially in other people, to actually give us some sense of stability. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Life is inside out. This is for thousands of years. This is what all of the real thinkers, the people who have been pushed to the edges of society because they've given a message of personal and individual responsibility. It's why they're pushed out. It's why Socrates was sentenced to death for corrupting the youth. Well, he wasn't corrupting them, he was informing them that the powers that be were corrupt. It's what happens, And I know that a lot of people have looked at me, they've been incredibly critical for, out of some sense of jealousy or envy or, whatever. I've had everything thrown at me. And all of it is because I am honest. It's who I am. And I've always spoken the truth to people. But I think I've gotten, with various stages of my life, with being around so many different people, that I've allowed myself to be sort of hammered down. I've been around a lot of hammers. But the amazing thing is now that I'm actually talking up for myself, I'm doing my own thing, that I'm attracting a huge amount of really, really fantastic people into my life. And people who are in the same position of just wanting to speak authentically, speak honestly, and are looking, using the technology, as I say, that we have at our fingertips all the time, to actually make their lives better. And that's my mission. I'm constantly looking for ways and embodying ways as much as I can to be a self-determined adult and really make something beautiful of my life that will also benefit other people. I'm a very generous person. I'm a very generous man, and I like seeing people happy. But I've always put that first. I've always put that first. That has to come from within if it's going to be meaningful, if it's going to be genuine and authentic, these words that I use all the time, because, once again, to repeat myself, it's your life, and it's your decision how you live it, and take the time that you need. Don't be rushed by other people, and live life at your pace, at your level, and keep reminding yourself you don't need permission to do that. You go out and you live the life that you deserve to live.